Hey guys, welcome to a very new episode of the unofficial Mimo Live tutorials. I have very good news for you, and the fantastic thing is, I can't wait. I can't wait. I have to show you something which I'm working on for quite some time. And this week, the first public beta version will be available. It's a new way of scripting. It's a new way of combining things inside of Mio Life. And yes, today I have to show it. So what do I have here? This is Mimo Live, and today I stream with the MacBook M1 Air. Yes, it's simply the Air. And yeah, what have I prepared here? This is simply a screen recording, and this here is my live video image. And as you can see, here is the cursor, and there yeah, I set up a document, and this document has some basic things here. I will enlarge it a bit so you can see it better. Here I have a pip window. When I click this, yes, you can see my window changes, or my image changes. And I have here a full screen variant and the circle variant. Then I have a pos 1. It's just a referring audio to this. I always strongly recommend to separate audio from the video, so you have the possibility to switch everything separately on or off. And here as a background, I use simply the screen recording. So when I turn it off, Mimo Live vanishes, and now it's back. Yes, and there I have an automation layer. I called it as Thumb Creator, and this should be our workspace for today. And this is not the typical Mimo Live automation layer. It's a modified version, and you can modify it also. So when you open this here and type automation, then you can right click this and you can export the layer composition, and then you're able to do changes on this. So I think it's on purpose. Here it's not restricted by Boink, so I think Achim and Oliver wants this, that we change this. Oh, James, hi. Nice that you joined me. Today I show the new way of scripting, and I added here the so-called Muse automation layer. It's simply the original automation layer, but with one extra new command, and I show it here. It's the same automation layer as usual, but with the difference that here is the mus command. It's simply an abbreviation for another command. It does nothing else than this, but I show this in a second. So what is muse doing? I will write it simply here. So whenever I write muse, it's an abbreviation for HTTP request, HTTP localhost, then in my case the port 8888 and a slash and a question mark. Yes, so whenever I write muse, it's just an abbreviation for this. So if you use the Boink standard layer, it's possible, but whenever I write muse, you have to write HTTP request and this. Yeah, when I write a command like set live, yes, then it's this here with set live. Yes, okay, this is just the basic. And now what are we going to do today? Today I want to do something that is not so simply possible with Mimo Live. I want to make a thumbnail creator. So what do we need for a thumbnail creator? We need images like this here, and we need some sources. We have here the main camera, it's the camera that you can see now, and the background. And I want to simply capture whatever we can see now as a PNG file or a JPEG file, or with several sizes. Yes, and here comes the mimoURLscripter into the place. It's the project I'm working on. So how does it work? Normally you have to how should I say, whenever you want to call a layer, you have to write something like layer on, then you have to copy all the API endpoints and things like this. Now we get rid of this because we just write muse and the round parentheses, and then we write the command to turn a layer on, and this is set live. And then we write brackets, yes, and then we say, what do we want to set live? Do we want to set live an output or a layer? What is it? It's a layer. So I write layer. Then the next brackets say which layer, A+1 or screen recording, or in this case as thumb creator, as thumb creator. And I want to turn on the done. Yes, done. So whenever I click this, I want to jump, I want to bring this variant to jump here. I click this and it works. I click it again and it works. I click it again and it works. This is a basic principle, because whenever this is executed, I want to jump it back to done. So, and now the capture. How can I capture the program? Here at this folder, I have this script. It's a PHP script which works in the background. And here, automatically, every image should be saved or stored. How can I do this? I write a new muse command, and it's capture. And what do I want to capture? I want to capture the PGM of the document. So I have to write document, and I have to write the name of the document. But what the hell is the name of the document? It's here. Basics. This is the name. I gave it a name. So I write here inside basics. So when I did everything correct, and when I click this, it should capture the PGM as a PNG file. It's the default option. So when I click it, it's done. It's not done. I have no folder here. So what did I wrong? Let's see at the documentation. This here is the same URL. It's localhost 8888, and I added help. So now I got help. I click here. I click on info and on commands. And this is saying show all commands or show commands with your search. Okay, I click this, and here I change the line from your search to capture. And now I get all commands which are related to capture. I just flip it in so I can browse it better. So I click on command selection, on off variants by name. No, it's not capture, it's snapshot. Yes, and here we have the commands. Commands, capture or snapshot, documents. Snapshot, document, basics. So this is the command I have to use. It's not capture, it's snapshot. So I have to rewrite this from capture to snapshot. The rest is correct. Document basics. So let's try it again. Flop. And now we got a new folder inside of this document root. And it's called like the PGM and the document. And inside of this, it's structured by date. So when I click this, you can see it. So this is the program capturing with my very, very funny expression. Okay, so I think we should do a better one. Okay. It's a thumbnail creator, yeah? Don't forget this. So I got a new one. And yes, this is much better, isn't it? Okay, so this is one possibility to save a PNG file. When I want to change the format, I can do this, yeah, just by adding some parameters, like the format. I write an equation sign and then I write the format. I don't want to use PNG, I want to use JPEG. Then I want to, the next parameter would be the frames per second, but this is for still images, not relevant, so I just do another semicolon. The next parameter is the maximum width and the maximum height. So I could say, okay, do maximum or do a maximum of 1000 times 1000 pixel. Okay, let's test this. Do we get another format? The first format was in HD, by the way. So, smile. Okay, with a bit of luck it worked, and now we have here a JPEG and a tinier format. Do you see this? That's amazing, isn't it? Yes, but this is just only one of the cool features. Yeah. Okay, so but maybe we have a concert, and maybe there are lots of genius close-ups, and you have a multi-view, and there is everything inside. Whenever a source is used inside of the document, and it's not gray here, yeah, this is important. It is not allowed to be gray here, otherwise you get a blank image. Yes, it has to be green or red, then you can capture the source. So we do the same thing. We write muse, so it's snapshot. Then we don't want to snapshot the document, we want to snapshot the camera, so it's a source. The next thing is, what is the name of the source? When you have here main space camera, the space gets out of the name. The name is normalized by a pattern. So when you're not sure what is the real name for this camera, you can go here to Firefox, you can see here the sources, and now you can see this is the real name. You don't have to write any code, you can copy and paste everything you need. So this is what I will do. I will copy and paste this, and I will replace this here. So I write muse, this is what I have to write, and I paste this here inside. And I can write a new line of code. I can also add a line of code directly by using the ampersand. So I don't have to write muse. Everything what should be done in one bunch can be added simply. So what do I want to do? I want to execute this code, and then I want to jump back to S-thumbs creator, and here I already have this set live code. I will just copy it from here, and I go back to my source capturing, and then I add it simply here. Okay, so this was everything. So I click this. Now I have to look very serious because my not my PGM, the main camera output is being captured. So okay, I hope this worked. I got a new folder here, and it follows the same structure. And here it is. Yes. Yeah, that's very cool. I can also reduce the size. I can do several variants of this. The same time, I could say, okay, just do a second capture with another format. So I can copy this again, and I could add a new line for this, or yes, whenever I use the same command, yes, I can use some kind of bulk generator, so it is played one by one by one by one by one. But this is something for the next time. I end this here. I write a new command. I paste this again. Snapshot source main camera. Now I want to have a JPEG and no special frame rate because it's not a stream. It's just how should I say a snapshot, a still image. And now I want to have it again 1000 times 1000 in a maximum. Yeah, okay. Then now I get two simultaneously. So okay, then here they came, yes, one, the short and the huge one, in two different formats. And what is the big advantage of it? The big advantage is that you're able to do this whenever you want. So you could say, okay, sleep 7 seconds and then do automatically a shot of the PGM and the source ABC. Then after the show, you can directly combine these images to post them on Instagram, for instance, or on Facebook to do advertisement for the latest live stream, which was already broadcasted. But you can do more. Yes, for instance, you could design a very, very funny looking image directly with mimoLive, and then you can create a button and you can click it, and after 3 or 4 seconds, how it is pre-configured, yeah, it does a shot of whatever is visible on screen. There could be text announcing whatever is to see inside the stream, so you can directly use mimoLive to create your thumbnails for the live streams. Yes, this is very amazing, but Muse is able to do more than this. I show all commands and then I show you what Muse is able to do currently. So I flip it in. So let's browse a bit through the basics. Yes, are the basics? There are independent commands like help, this is this, yeah, and delay. It's please don't be confused because of sleep and delay. Delay is just a delay which can be added after the commands, so that later commands are simply delayed with this. So you don't have to calculate 3 seconds or 4 seconds with a sleep or something like this. You can bring this directly inside of this. With the standard layer of mimoLive, this delay can be about 9.5 seconds in total. With the Muse layer, it can be 59 seconds in total. Then you can also list all the variables and commands. There are lots of constants you can use. You can use every value inside of mimoLive to place it anywhere inside of mimoLive. You can also calculate, yes. There is also some kind of store where you can save game data, for instance. When you want to make a game show, then you can save your data for player 1, player 2, player 3, also the name and the score, and you can update the score by clicking a button. You could change the whole layer structure of a layer, the whole content, to bring in an animation which announces the new score and things like this. Then yes, you can use math with every command which supports expressions or text, or you could calculate something very weird and bring it into an annotation layer, for instance. This is done with math, then the expression. It could also contain variables or other constants, and it closes by semicolon and the bracket. And you can also compare and then execute commands. It's like if, yes. And the if statement here is called compare. You compare a value A with a value B, or a value B and a value C. And there are some modes: is equal to, is not equal to, is less than, is equal or less than, is greater than, is equal or greater than, is between, is equal or between, is not equal or between, and so on. There are lots of ways of comparison. So you can compare, is a layer live or not? Yes, you can compare several types of comparisons, and then you can execute commands. So you write, afterwards you write a command and a colon, then a command and a colon and a command, and you can execute commands based on several settings. Then it's also possible to change values. Set value 4 is the basic command for this, and you say similar to set live layer. What did we have? Video position 1, and then variant B, for instance. You can also say set value 4 and then layer, and then the name of the layer, the name of the variant, and then the API endpoint name. Yes, you can copy every time the how should I say, you could copy every variable here, for instance, by clicking here to say copy API key, and this is what you need. When you have the key and when you set the value, then it's placed automatically inside of mimoLive. And the cool thing is you can do this with lots of the same time. For instance, here I have how should I say, the video position 1. Yeah, I will add a new one just for demonstration purposes. I call it V-pos2, so it's the video position 2. I delete this one and I just call this variant dynamic. Yeah, it's just the dynamic. You can call it however you want, but this is very short to type. Yes. So when I want to change the crop top, for instance, so this here, so it changes this a bit. I can also do it something like this. And when I want to have exactly these settings for the layer, then I can go to here. I can write over there show generator. It's a generator, and get values, and then I simply write the name of the video of this layer, V-pos2, V-pos2. And have I forgotten something? Just a second. It's an alpha version. Okay, it works, but there is something undefined in my program. But as you can see, here are lots of codes. Set value 4, layer, video position 2, group, geometry, blah, 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 blah. And I can use the code to change everything of this layer. I just have to see where it ends. It's lots of, yes. And then I can copy it, but I'm not sure about the index. Why is it now being this? So here, definitely here it starts. In the final version, it will be better, I promise. So I think here it ends. Yes. So this is the code to set this up. I can just copy and paste this. I duplicate this. Set video or set v post 2. I just copy this here inside of that, and now it changes to exactly that when I have no mistakes. Let's see if I have any mistakes inside of here. That's lots of code, and yes, I copied too many lines. Oh, it's a pity. Let's correct this error. Yes. So what is this error? It's an alpha version, so it's on line 184. 184. I just correct this here inside the script. 184. So this is the program, the alpha version at 184. Was it 184? Okay, 184. It's this line here. So maybe I should just ignore the message at the moment, just to get a good output. And now 186. I have to do this later, but I just want to ignore the output. So, okay, now we see the output. Okay, what is the generator doing? The generator is combining layer outputs. So when I want to change more layers the same time, I could write here video position 1 also. Yes, v pos 1, for instance. Now I get all the codes for all the layers the same time. So I could change here in one bunch. When I use this code, I could change both to the actual settings. But this is something I don't want. I just want to have it for vpos 2. So these keys are used by the generator whenever I don't want to use a certain key. For instance, the video image. Maybe I want to write the video image with another script. I could exclude the key. I just look here. Here is the video image. I want to ignore it, so I add it here after a semicolon. So now it's not being used. The UI snap color I don't want to change either, so I add it by doing a semicolon. Okay, so now I have all the values I want inside of the change. These keys are ignored, yeah, and now I want to change everything and all together. So I copy this from here to there. I don't have to write this, I can copy and paste this. So I go inside of this, and now I change it to whatever I set. And at the second change, I write here alternative. I wildly change this here to some other settings. And now I simply refresh this and I get the new values. And I copy and paste this code again. And I copy it into the alternative. And now let's see if it changes. Okay, I have to switch this on. And now I click the first variant and the second variant. The first and the second variant. And with these kind of scripts, you can create your own switches with in transitions, out transitions, with yeah, alternatives inside of this, and much, much more. And the really cool thing is, I just turn this off. I switched simply between this and that. Yeah, the change is being done. I activate it again so you can see it. Maybe I can bring Mimo live. Now you can see it better. Yes, I just click here and there, and it changes the whole layer. So every time you click this, it changes the whole layer. And there is another generator, it's called a bit switcher. And with this bit switcher, you are able to combine the status of certain layers into a flat structure of, how should I say, scripts. So you don't have if layer is on, if layer is off, if layer is this, if layer is that. You have just this is visible, and this is visible, and this is visible, and maybe also this is visible, or just this, or just two of them. And the bit switcher switches onto a special layer, which is represented from 0 to a number of bits. And when you have, for instance, 4 different sources which you want to combine together, then you have 4 to the power of 2 variants. So it's from 0 to 15. And is this true? 4 times 2, 4 to the power of 2. Yes, 16 variants, but it's from 0 to 15. And the bit switcher places the decision where to switch. And you don't have to remind which number is which status, because you can switch on the bit switcher and it jumps to the place where you should implement the scripts. Yes, and as you can see, it's very easy to copy and paste these values, and it seems to be that these scripts are horrifying long. Yes. But it's generated, so you don't have to write one single line. Yes, James likes it. That's fantastic. Yes. At the end of the week, I want to release the first public beta version, so you can use it, you can test it, you can do whatever you want with it. If you want, please support this project, that it can be developed further. Currently, I just use the free time, yeah, and maybe it is possible to get more inside of this. There are also future plans. In version 2, I want to have so-called masked scripts. So why should we submit it to the script receiver when it's already placed inside? So there should be also a way that scripts are executed directly from here without submitting it to the external interpreter. And there is also a plan which is some kind of bit switcher, but calculating these values on the fly. So a switcher which is able to interpret your things on screen, and which is able to combine, how should I say, the positions, the in transitions, the out transitions, and so on. I think that this is possible, but yes, with your help, everything is possible. So let's wait for the beta version. Currently, as told, I use here this is Firefox. Yes, Firefox is able to show JSON output in a very convenient way. And with this, it's currently the version 1, and yes, it lets browse you through every section. And first I mentioned the variables. I click here. The variables are also structured here. You can get every variable by using the command get value from, and then from where? Document basics and the ID of it, or even, how should I say, if you want to compare anything from the input descriptions or input values, every value mimoLive is able to provide can be asked and can be compared. Here you can see the current value, by the way, of the value, and you don't have to write any single code. You can just double click it and copy, and then you can use this as a parameter. What have we here? We can directly find variables. For instance, for the placer layer screen recording, I just add here, instead of all, placer, because it's called placer. Hoppla. Isn't it called placer? No, it's called screen recording. So I can directly search for screen recording. And now I get values which contain the phrase screen recording. And so it's very easy to get the code that you need. It's very easy to find this. And when you want to override it, yes, and when it's inside of attributes and input values, this is important. Other things you're not able to override, or if it's when it's an output device, destination, you can override everything which is in the scheme of settings. Yes. But you cannot override everything, but there where you can override things. Where is the input? Maybe I should write it here to it. Attributes, input values. Okay, so now the list is much shorter. And now we have here the name of the value. It's this is similar to that how it's called in mimoLive, so you find it very quickly. And yes, for instance, maybe we want to override the opacity. Then I just double click this, I copy it. I can get the value when I use it as a parameter, or I can override it just by going inside here. I just open a new or add a new, it's override test, I call this. And now I use the command, I copy it, and I just rename it from get value from to new value for. So, not new value, set value for, sorry. Set value for. And now I can place a value. It's the opacity, so the opacity will change when I place here 50. It should be the half of now. I hope it works. I haven't tested this. Oh, I have to write muse. Sorry. I forgot to write muse. It's a muse command. Somewhere I need a layer where muse is not in need. So, okay, yes, now let's test it. Yes, the opacity of this changed. So, when I want to have another value, 100% again, I can simply change the code. Yes. And James' mind is exploding. Yes. Well, I'm not a programmer. I'm a German teacher. But I loved to think about how could we improve automation. And one of the next things that should happen is that that how should I say, that you can animate this, so that you can say animate set value to or something like this, and then it should animate from wherever it is to the value of, to the goal value, to the target value. Yes, this is something which should be implemented within the next few weeks. Whenever I have the time, it should be done. And then it would use the current frame rate of the document to animate from value A to value B or something like this. This is possible. I already tested it. And for this, I can also do another test too. Just to switch between two values currently, let's say 50 and 100. So I can simply switch between of this. And as noticed, you can change hundreds of values the same time. Yes, so you can change the whole look of mimoLive exactly the same time when how should I say, the layer supports animation, the change sets it to new values, and then it animates to the new values. And this is really, really crazy and outstanding. Yes, so what do you need to use it? Yes. You don't need Firefox, but it's very convenient to see the JSON output. In every other browser, it looks like this. Yes, so it's much better to see the JSON output as it is. So it's formatted, and you can see everything better than here. This would Safari show. Yes, and it's much more convenient to have it structured like this. So I would use or recommend Firefox to display the output of mimoURLscripter. The second thing what you need is some kind of web server. Yes, I use mump. It stands for Mac, Apache, MySQL, and PHP. You would see this here in English, don't worry. Yes, I just switch here the language. So it's you will download mump and mump pro. I did the following. I clicked here on download. I installed mump and mump pro, and then I deleted the pro version simply out of the program directory, and I use the free version all the time. It's here. I open it. Yes, this is mump, and here at the document root, I choose where is this PHP script. It's somewhere on the desktop in my case, and I routed it to version 1, exactly there where the index PHP file is. I strongly recommend to use Nginx, not Apache, Nginx, because it's optimized for this. And at the settings, yes, you could say it's now in German, but I will translate it for you. You can simply say start the server when mump is opened, and stop the server when mump is opened, and turn the cache off. It's very important to turn the cache off, otherwise you do not get any changes. So turn the cache off. When you don't use the port 8888, you can use the standard port, yes, and the server is, the MySQL server is not used by me, so you can use it for other projects if you want. Yes, and this I also don't use the cloud connection. I don't use any cloud connections. So this is everything you need, and with localhost and the port, HTTP, localhost, and the configured port, you can open the mimoURLscripter in the browser. And when this page is here, everything works. When there is no document, then you get the error message that you should open a document. Yes, hello Sia, nice to see you. Yeah, this is mimoURLscripter, and it's a very basic version. What can you also do? I bring it back. You can combine certainly the scripts inside of layer sets, but you can also call the scripts externally. So I add a new thing here. Let's call this uh, um, do a bunch. Yes, so what should this do a bunch do? First, it should turn on V+2, then it should turn off V+1, and then it should do everything vice versa. Normally, at the Mimo Live automation layer, you have to copy lots of these API endpoints, and you have to know the numbers, and when you save the document, the scripts are broken. At least when you don't rename your layers, everything is fine. When you don't rename the document, everything is fine. So the scripts are shareable. Yes, you can you can share the scripts, but you can also you reuse all the scripts. At least you call your layers the same. Yeah. Okay. So what should do a bunch do? Let's be creative. We have a video position 2 and a video position 1. So muse set live layer video position 1. I think this was the name, isn't it? V+1. Yes, V+1. And the full screen version, FS. Then it should classically sleep 2 seconds. This is the normal sleep command, which you already know. Then it should open V+2, but it should turn off V+1. So muse, hopla, set off layer V+1. It independently from the active current variant. Yes, just a layer. And it should also start layer V+2. And which variant do we want? We have just one, but I call the variant. Maybe I add some later. Okay, and let's test this. And afterwards, do a bunch should jump to done. Yes. So muse set live as thumb creator. No, layer as thumb creator. It's a layer as thumb creator done. And with the magic of, let's try it. Let's test this. Okay, so here we go. Now it's doing whatever. And finally, it jumped to done. Maybe we should wait 2 additional seconds and then we should turn off V+2. Huh? This is something we could also do. So sleep, classical sleep of 2 seconds. And then we want to turn it off. So I simply copy the last line of code here. So this here, I just copy this. And now I turn it off. So here is the sleep, and afterwards muse, I paste it, and I write set off. And as mentioned, when it's the first command after this muse statement, I could simply drop it out. Okay, so let's start it. Hello my friends and welcome. It's so nice to see you again. Wow. Yes, with this you can do very, very complex openers in a very short period of time. So, whenever you have questions, please leave it at the comments. This is the first introduction into this kind of scripting. I hope you liked it, and I hope that we see us soon again. Have a nice rest of your day, and goodbye.